Hello everybody, I'm playing Bioshock, and I bet you're wondering, why am I playing Bioshock? Shouldn't we be working on Keep Barry Bouncing or Heads Chase Nailway or something? Well, I'm playing Bioshock because I'm just trying to figure out what it is that makes this shooting franchise so popular. And so far I've been able to conclude it's melodrama. Yes, in fact, the acting in this game is so camp and so over the top, sometimes you think maybe they're intentionally being that over the top. I mean, I just believability in their emotion, it's not there. I mean, I'm just talking about the dialogue in general. The screaming, the dying, all that, that's really good. That's really believable. But like some of these voice recording tapes, I mean, seriously. Come on. Anyway. Okay. Let me shock some stuff and do some things. Now here's where the game actually gets interesting. This is actually my favorite point in the entire game because it does something that Batman Arkham Asylum did a couple times, and also like a stack of money, but that's beyond the point. Anyway, so I'm going to touch this, and it teleports. It's a Half-Life 2 gag, we've seen it before, but let's have it do some interesting stuff for us now. And again, not to say it's completely ripping off Half-Life 2, but this is actually doing a few things that we see in Planner's Lab, which is you're able to move an object around, but it does so at a greater, distance. And what's really interesting is what happens after you're done moving it around all over the room. Now I have to find it, so it's a bit like a scavenger hunt, which is kind of fun. Okay, found you. I think we're going to go either to that direction or downstairs. Oh, there you are. Don't mind me, Mr. Daddy. Okay. And that's popped up there. And now here's where things get really interesting. It starts floating. And then it takes me with it. And then some guy watches it floating by and is like, what? Kind of like the teleporter scene in HL2. And help me, 5254. That's actually a good clue because that'll help me open a door. And now it's chasing a guy. I love that. I love that bit. It's like, flying jar! And I'm outside and I actually see a sea slug, but darn, I can't reach it. And then it says I'm in question mark. These are statues or bodies, or one's got a camera. I really don't know what you could make of this place. It's really strange. There's Eve Hypos and basically a vending expert, which is nice. So I grab the vending expert. I throw that in the gene bank. And then one of the camera guys flashes you, depending on if you look at the left one or the right one. And then suddenly you're back in Fontaine Futuristics. Now see, that's an example of a System Shock 2-esque moment where you're just suddenly in a freaky place. I know it's been done in Half-Life and System Shock, and I think that's what makes those shooters so great, is those moments that really mess with your head. The same goes for Batman Arkham Asylum, with those moments that really mess with your head. That's what makes a game stand out from a book, because you can create madness in the player's eyes, or you can take them on a journey in a completely surrealistic way. And that's what I like my games to do, and that's the kind of stuff I try to put into the games I develop too. So the only problem I really have with this particular Bioshock is just the repetition, but it stays. It's a lot less repetitive than the previous one. My only real issue are the shout-outs to the previous game. It almost felt like I was playing a fan game at the start, and some of the really early levels, like where you first find the shotgun and the lights go out, it's like, wow, that is exactly what happened in the first one. Isn't that kind of weird? You know? Just little things that kind of irk me, feeling almost as if they're not trying to be original, they're just trying to repeat the formula. And, I mean, it certainly does that, and it's a good formula. So, for what it does, in doing that, it's a very good game, and I recommend you get it, just for the single player. Don't get it for the multiplayer, though, because, I mean, unless you're into, like, that rank-based kind of multiplayer where one guy just happens to be, like, rank 10, so he's got the freaking rocket launcher, and everybody else just has to suffer, that's basically how I describe the multiplayer. It's not that fun. But anyway, all in all, that's the one part of Bioshock that I consider memorable. The rest of it, you can easily forget. Just, you know... I mean, there are other memorable moments, obviously, like the bit where... I don't want to spoil it. I guess I'm spoiling things with this video. Well, there's a bit where, let's just say something happens to your view of the world, and it involves a little sister. Yeah, I'll just say that. So if you know what I'm talking about, that bit's kind of interesting. That's another example, one of those, you know, sort of trippy, messing with the player's head kind of moments. And it's all about perspective. It all comes down to that.